Okay everyone, welcome back to the channel for another video on Gran Turismo 7. I'm going to be going through a guide to show you how to earn 2 million credits on GT7 with the new sport mode time trial in as short a time as possible. Now this track is actually fairly simple. I know it's in wet conditions, however I do think a lot of you are going to be able to get the gold on this, and majority of you should be able to get the silver for 1 million credits. It is obviously in the wet conditions. There is a few tricks I'm going to show you in the guide to try and help you get them credits as easily and as quickly as possible. You have around 2 seconds from the top time to play with, and obviously that's going to dynamically adjust as the week goes on. So yeah, if you do enjoy these guys, make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, let me know in the comments if it helps you out. So first of all, go into sport mode, and from this menu you see the online time trial, the lap time challenge. Click on there. I've already got the guide for the 24-hour track, and if you want the guide for the scuba, you're going to go into there and you click into this, and you can see from here current time 10.075 for gold. That's going to go down slightly. 11.5 for silver, 14.8 for bronze. Fairly, actually, I think these times are reasonable, because you're going to see why when we go into it. It's quite an easy combination as long as you keep to the line that you need to drive. Now from the menu you can chase my ghost. I'm currently in the top 10, managed to get in there. I won't go on it again, that will do me for the whole week. Didn't take too long to get used to this combination. You can see going into the final corner, make sure you get a good strong exit from this corner. Now there's a few vital tips you need to take into account for this, and it's pretty much getting into third gear as early as you can. So going into turn one other tip in this one is avoid the puddles. So going into turn one, we're going to use on the left here the end of this little bit of tarmac as a reference for our braking reference. So just as you come to the end there, onto the brakes, and we're going to slow the car down. Now we're going to go down to second gear, however we're going to go back up to third gear for traction. Now, obviously we're in a four-wheel drive car, so you're going to get good traction out of these corners. So down to second gear, trail brake into the corner. Now avoid the wet parts of the track on the right hand side there. You don't want to be right up against the curb, and again avoid the right hand side with the puddles there. Do not go into the puddles. If you get into them puddles, you will just lose traction and speed. So just try and stay to the left hand side of that. Upshift to third gear very early for the exit. And now we're going to be powering our way into the next section. Again, as we go through here, try and avoid the puddles on either side. So you're going to go straight through the middle, and you can actually use this little gap in the middle as a reference for your braking, just as you go past it onto the brakes, or you can brake before the curb. It's up to you. I kind of just do it by the curb, to be honest, but you can use that in between the two puddles as a reference. Now down to third gear, then into second gear, and this corner, again, you're going to try and go wide and try and square the car off and get into third gear early. So as we go through here, avoid them puddles on the left, squaring the car off, waiting for that car to rotate, then up to third gear. And again, be careful you don't go into that puddle on the left there. It will lose you time. So again, left-hand tyre to the right-hand side of that puddle, and accelerate out this corner and into the next right-hand corner. Now this corner is all about trying to get a bit of a drift going into the corner. So as you're coming into this corner, I do it by line of sight, just by reference into the corner. You're going to get on the brakes nice and early, and just let the car rotate into this corner, right hand tyre up onto the curb. And again, just be cautious you don't go into that puddle by taking too much off, because you will lose traction and a lot of lap time. So again, just to the left hand side of that, and then onto the throttle into this next left hand corner. Now you're going to turn in quite early for this corner and try and get it up to the apex, but just be cautious you don't get into the puddle. So you see again, puddle on the left, skim up to apex, and again, as you're coming up to this puddle, you want to get that left hand side to make sure it's not into the puddle. You've got to just be on the right hand side of it. Now you can see I give a little safety lift on the exit here. You can see I'm off the throttle slightly. That's just to make sure I don't run wide. Upshift to fourth gear, and now into the next braking zone. Now you can use the start of the AstroTurf or the end of the puddle there on the left as a reference for your braking. Just make sure that you're slowing the car down very quickly here. Now I brake too late here. You can see fractionally too late. It's just a case of just trying to nail this braking spot. It's very difficult. You can see the Ghost car gets it pretty much spot on. Now you don't want to brake early because you don't want to get into that puddle on the right hand side, but you don't want to be too late because you got going into the puddles on the left hand side. So I just about keep it in the dry part of the track. However, you can see how much I lose to the Ghost in front of me. You want to be slightly earlier on that brake, just so you can get on the throttle a fraction earlier. Probably lost a tenth or more there. You can lose quite a bit on that single corner. It's probably the hardest corner on the whole track. Now into the final corner, you're going to use this 50 board on the left hand side. You can just about see it in the trees there. That's your reference brake just before the 50 board, and then we're going to try and Turn in early, but just avoid that puddle on the right as we've just gone through there. You can actually get away with touching some of these puddles slightly. See, down to third gear, then back up to fourth gear as we get back on the power. You can see back up to fourth gear. Now, I could have been a bit more aggressive. I actually hesitated on the throttle there and backed out, and I think I had plenty to play with. I could have just kept it floored all the way to the finishing line. So possibly, again, lost out on maybe half a tenth there, but we go over the line on a 108.371. So yeah, third gear is really important to get in early. You can see from the chase camera again about avoiding these puddles. So as we go into this right side, you can see the right hand tire just avoiding them puddles, just trying to keep the car in that driest line possible. Again, staying away from the puddle there on the left. And again, as we come through here, you can see straight through the middle of them two, and then onto the brakes. Again, just be cautious through here. Let the car rotate with coasting a lot of the time as well. Then go up to third gear, get on that throttle, and use that third gear traction as you go through this corner. Again, you can see slightly sliding into that corner, did that quite nicely. And then this left-hand corner, you see you get left-hand tyre up to that curb, but then just avoid that puddle on the left. You've got to be cautious because it will just understeer you massively. And a bit too late on the brakes here. You can see I go very, very deep, but I do square the car off, get up to third gear, and manage to get on the power and stay on the power on the exit. So probably lost at least a tenth though with that line. You want to be a bit more tighter, just not too tight that you're going into the puddles. This corner here, using the 50 board again, you can see sliding the car in. We got right up to the curb. I used a very different line on this lap. I wasn't doing this line very often, but I think it helped me, and I think if I was more aggressive on the throttle on the exit there, would have gained even more. So you can get away with getting right up to that curb on that final corner, and you can gain some time with that. So yeah, let me know in the comments if it's helped you out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. It all helps the channel out, and I'll be back with more of these videos in the future. Thanks again for watching, everyone.